So what's going on, guys? My name is Violent. Welcome to GRIZZ Zombies. I got some loading screens I want to talk about, 4 specifically that have been released already, and we're not sure if these are going to be teasers for the upcoming future, but maybe. Something we hold dear to our heart is that Treyarch's out there developing something new. They're developing new content for Black Ops 3. It was stated in the 4th quarterly reporter investor sales that went down in 2016, so we know something's coming. And a lot of reports and sources are coming out now saying that DLC 5 is being confirmed from some source that they can't give away. With that understanding, we're going to move forward with this information. There are 4 different maps that I want to talk about: Ascension, Moon, Shangri-La, and Nuketown. These may not all be ones that you want, but it's teasers that we currently have. We're going to kick things off with Ascension. Now, Ascension is a loved map by a lot of different people. The map layout's great. We got this loading screen. This is the old loading screen, if you're not aware. We have a man on the left and a man on the right. The man on the left is drawing up plans. The man on the right is ascending somehow or teleporting. In the new image that we have Dr. Monty on the left, and we have a keeper on the right, which is very important to take into consideration, considering that the old man that we're seeing on the left might possibly be Yuri, and the man being teleported away on the old loading screen might be Gersh. That was an idea one of my really close friends, Greg FPS, had in our podcast, the Power Up Podcast. I'll link the latest episode in the description box below if you guys want to check that out. It's all about DLC 5 and both of our thoughts and perspectives on this. So there are 3 different elements on this picture just to highlight some of the podcasts that I want to take into consideration. There's the Gobblegums with Samantha in the background, there's the plans with the dragon at the bottom, and there's Monty over on the left. Let's start with the Gobblegum thing that you're seeing with Samantha. She's staring at the Gobblegum machine. In the remastered version of Ascension, that's the teaser that we need to be taken into consideration. That's teasing that this is going to be remastered. The dragon on the bottom is plans from Zetsubou no Shima, meaning Division 9 will play some role in Ascension, partnering with Group 935. That's something that is to come, and I'm excited for that little bit of storyline. The other thing is Dr. Monty on the way left. He's drawing something, right? He's imagining something, and what do we look at when we zoom in on it? We actually see the plans from the giant of that spherical hexagon thing that we saw with the KN-94. This new image with Dr. Monty comes from the 2nd issue of the comic. At the very end, they always give a teaser to something that's to come. This is what we got. This is telling me that it's a direct hint towards linking to the giant, meaning that the giant is going to be the pinnacle point where things change. And this is where DLC 5 begins. So let's switch gears for a second. I know it's a lot to take in. We're going to look at the Moon loading screen, the original Moon loading screen, and you see it in its full glory here. It says meanwhile, and we can see the dome on the very right side. So the moon is happening. Things are happening on the moon. This is by far one of the most challenging maps, and finishing the Big Bang Theory is one of my favorite accomplishments ever in all of Call of Duty Zombies. But we have a new loading screen. Now, I've gone ahead and done the liberty of highlighting the shadows within these images. Nothing's changed. I've just drastically changed the color so you can see it better. We're going to notice Samantha in the right hand corner. That's very mysterious. We're seeing the astronauts moving away versus before when they were moving towards the pyramid or the end of that tunnel. The Cosmodrome is not there. There's no meanwhile, nothing like that. It's all gone. Things have changed. This is the new loading screen for Black Ops 3. Judging on the left side of the screen, we can tell that the science of a lot of the things that we've seen are still there. But on the right side of the screen with Samantha, that can be plotted on the Shangri-La loading screen. Let me show you what I mean. Take a hard mother effing look at this. This cannot be made up. As a matter of fact, it is exactly the background images in the landscape of the mountains coming down. There is no doubt in my head that this is what that picture is representing. But why is Shangri-La so important to Moon? I know the focusing stone did come from here, and that was part of Richtofen's plan to advance forward. But if Richtofen, the new Richtofen, the Primus Richtofen, is in fact plotting something here, I have questions as to why Shangri-La is a part of this picture. But it is, and I find that interesting. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking Richtofen might be doing again with the focusing stone, and why Shangri-La would be important. Which brings us to Nuketown. Nuketown's coming back into the picture at the end of the last comic that we just got. We got the teaser image, but this is the old loading screen. We have the drill on the upper right. On the left side we can see a little bit closer of what the drill looks like. we have a man that's masked, and then on the far right it appears to be some sort of metal that is showing. So on the newer image we have a perspective of the drill on the left side of two men watching and seeing what's happening. Not sure what that's about. They might be Germans, something like that. Now, I'm not sure if I fall into the same boat as a lot of you guys. I happen to think that Nuketown sucked, but I think for custom games or new game modes, Nuketown could be very beneficial to the overall plan of DLC 5. We're going to see on the right-hand side a better picture of the drill going down. Seems like a lot more activity is happening in this image versus before when it was kind of dulled out. We see a better image of the hazmat suit, the guys in a laboratories inside the same spot as on the way left. So taking that into consideration, we can assume that the guy in the hazmat suit is not on ground zero. He's in fact in the same area. I'm not sure what the metal on the right is. It seems to be more of a clear picture than we had before. Nuketown's kind of a mystery. I'm not sure why this is bringing back into the limelight. I do have a theory that we're going to find out more about Richtofen getting the Chronorium in the comics, but is that going to relate to DLC 5? Is the transit crew going to be returning in such a way? Or are we going to be seeing a significant change in the Mob of the Dead crew? Are we going to be learning a lot more about their storyline in the Blood Vials and how it happened? I know I would love to personally see that teleport from Zetsubou no Shima to Mob of the Dead. Maybe that's how we start the map. The premise characters as well with an Origins remake. Will we be seeing the Great Battle? The Great Battle that was never done. The ancient staffs, the original staffs that we never got a hold of. We were only able to wield the 2.0 staffs that Samantha's father made copies of. That's all we know so far, and the 1.0 staffs could be the parts that we're collecting along the way throughout DLC 5. That's my theory as of now. If you guys like this idea, please drop a like on the video, and that's going to wrap up my ideas for DLC 5, at least with these loading images. I do have a lot more to come, but that's in the near future. This by far is the most I've ever shared about DLC 5 and my knowledge relating to the storyline of what's been given to us. I don't plan on confirming information out there from credible sources, much like you're seeing, because I don't want my information to be false. It will always be correct because I'm going with the lore of Call of Duty Zombies and what is being projected in the near future. That's my thoughts. And if you guys have any other thoughts, be sure to comment below and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest and greatest patch notes and game updates with Black Ops 3. I'll see you guys in the next video. Viollent out.